Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a video covering all of the toy tanks in toy tank mode and the tanks obviously that you'll be able to use in the newer upcoming game modes as well for the rest of this winterfest. And what we're going to do, the format of this video is basically going to explain about what these tanks do and then just let the game roll out so you can watch it in action, because there's not much commentary to be done over it. It's just, you can see all the fun shenanigans we've had playing this toy tank mode. And the whole point is, obviously there's 4 tanks that you can pick up for snowballs in the Megablaster, Yellow Ryder, Nurfstroyer and Ole Sparky. So what I'm going to do is show you them all so that if you decide to spend your snowballs on one of the toy tanks, you know what they do, and you can see which one you'd rather pick up. Because my suggestion to you would be to pick up one of them and then use that for all the game modes, because obviously you're always better off spending the snowballs on stuff that will affect you for pretty much the whole game, like camos, like commanders, stuff like that. So pick up one of the tanks from the snowball store and then you can have fun with that in the 3 modes. Essentially this one, whatever they've called the other 2 modes as well. Because, I mean, you've got a bit of variety and a bit of fun, because the toy tank mode is great fun. You can have an absolute laugh with it. The toy tanks are hilarious to use. And to be honest, it's one of those modes that, in the past, I'd play 4 or 5 games and then just get bored, because the toy tank and the Glitterbomb, as it's now known, which was the toy arty, got a little bit boring, a little bit samey after a bit. But with the extra 4 tanks, there's been a lot of different variety and a lot of fun to play all the different ones. Like, my favourite personally is the Yellow Ryder, and you'll see it when it plays, and you can have an absolute laugh with it. But it's down to you in which one you think you prefer. And like I say, because it will be a lot of snowballs to get all 4, you're better off just picking one that you think looks cool, stick with that, and use it in the modes. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is the bog standard toy tank. It's the original. It's the tank that everyone knows from the toy mode that's been around for donkeys. It's been around for donkeys years, right? And toy tank is just your bog standard toy tank in the fact that it runs around at a decent speed at 42 kilometers an hour. It's fairly mobile. It's got pretty decent frontal armor, so in that, it's actually a counter for stuff like the Yellow Ryder, because the Yellow Ryder can't pen you frontally, so as long as you keep your front pointed to your Yellow Ryder, you'll have a good time. And it fires this suction cup, or this plunger, or whatever it is. It's a pretty consistent weapon to use. Now, you've just seen something there on the screen, and that is that this year there is a present that spawns in the middle of the map at F5, and that present will give you and your team an extra 20 snowballs at the end of the game if you collect it, so watch the map for that when it pops up. And naturally, you also get snowballs from presents as you kill the opposition toy tanks as well. Or you get partial health restores, like you've just seen there, which can really turn the tide of a battle very, very quickly. If you kill someone and then get the partial health restore, you can gain most of your health back and then just turn on the tanks that have already lost a load of hit points as well. Really, really handy at times. But yeah, the toy tank is just a bog standard tank to play. You just run around, RBRT to your heart's content, lead the shots a little bit more, because naturally it's not got the best plunger velocity. Yeah, that's what we're going with. Not got the best plunger velocity in the universe, so RBRTing at tanks that are on the move can mean you'll miss a lot of shots. Maybe you have to free aim shots occasionally. But you can still have fun with it. It's just, for me, I find it a little bit boring at times. But yeah, that's the toy tank. It's a basic bog standard vehicle. So I'm going to let you watch the rest of the action so you can see the fun shenanigans we have with this vehicle, and then we'll move on to the next one. And that next one is the Glitterbomb. The Glitterbomb, aka the Toy RT. It is a tank that is pretty damn deadly, but in a difference to the standard toy tank, obviously it's not got quite the frontal armor that the standard toy tank has, so it's a bit of a glass cannon, but it has this 4-shot ball round, or ornament round as it says there, but it's a ball. So it fires 4 balls that explode at things. If it pens, it does quite a bit of damage, but realistically you're only going to pen vehicles if you get up to their rear, as you're possibly going to see in one of these replays, or in this replay I should say, is that when you actually get round the rear of someone, their HP just goes through the floor. But generally you splash just like an artillery would for like 200. As you're seeing against the enemy toy arty there, we hit 4 shots for about 200 to 250. I wouldn't recommend using the normal arty sight in this mode because it is pure pain to use. And you see it a lot with glitter bombs knocking around that they're clearly trying to aim with the arty sight. Don't bother. Just RBRT. Leave the shells. Free aiming the shots is the best thing you can do as well, as you're seeing right here. Free aim the shots just ahead of people, splash them with the shells, and if you get up behind them, you'll be able to do 600 damage if you pen them, and you'll decimate them very, very quickly. The HP, like I say, goes in the blink of an eye. We're going to see if we can do it to this toy tank right here. Hopefully we do. Yeah, look. Oh, he's dead. Just like that. If you catch people unawares, their HP vanishes, and that's the fun of the toy arty. But naturally, like I say, you're a bit of a class cannon. Your armor doesn't really hold up that well against any of the weapons, so you don't really bounce that much. And you are incredibly slow as well at 29 kilometers an hour. You are very, very, very slow compared to the other vehicles. So you're a lot less maneuverable. It's a lot harder to avoid the shots. When you do get yourself stuck into that brawl, your weapon is exceptionally deadly. You just got to be careful though, because the balls can go absolutely everywhere. And it can be a bit of a pain and a bit unwieldy to try and get the most of it. But it can be a lot of fun. I do like the glitter bomb to use. It's the free tank version that I use. I use this over the toy tank every single time because I have a lot of fun. And as you've seen from the first replay and this replay, I use it on the free-to-play account because, like I said in my video covering all of the winterfest stuff, I am playing a game in the toy tank mode every single day on the free-to-play to get the free chest from a win, and that's what you're seeing with the glitter bomb and the toy tank, because naturally I'm not going to pay the snowballs for the toy tanks on the other account because that'd be a waste. I may as well save the snowballs, see if I can get them for the other free shenanigans, right? So yeah, that's the glitter bomb, that's the toy arty. I'm going to go into the next one now. Just watch the rest of this to see all the shenanigans and all the fun you can have with the old glitter bomb. And here we are with the first of the tanks that you can pick up for snowballs. It is the Yellow Ryder. It costs 10,000 snowballs, which is a hell of a lot of snowballs, which is one of the reasons why I say pick up one of the vehicles to help you with the game modes, to have a lot of fun with it, have a bit of variety, and just be a little bit better in general at using them in those modes. Because naturally it's what, 30,000 snowballs if you wanted to pick them up. That's a lot of snowballs you could use on free camos, free commanders, that sort of thing that will help you in the long run on your account. So it's just better to pick up one that you think looks cool. And the Yellow Ryder is my personal favourite. It is absolutely fantastic tank, barrel of laughs to play. It's got this double barrel gun, which isn't a double barrel gun. It is a BB shooting auto cannon. It fires rapid fire BB rounds, which decimate targets very, very quickly if you catch them in their soft areas. Tanks like that toy tank are the natural enemy of this vehicle, because if they're aware of you and keep their front to you, you don't really pen them. But you've got good mobility and maneuverability to actually get around the sides and rears of those vehicles, and you can just trash the tank very, very quickly. But obviously, like I say, if they turn, it's going to be easier to get after you. And this tank is a hell of a lot of fun. Like I say, you just want to be able to keep moving all the time, try not to be the focus of people's attention, and then just go with the BB gun, because, oh yeah, this tank is a hell of a lot of fun. And you can say it's just a barrel of laughs, and because of the super mobility that you get on this vehicle as well, because as you can see, it is super quick compared to the other tanks in the game, because it goes at over 60, which is really damn handy. Because you're going so much quicker than the opposite, well, any of the other vehicles, you can get into the frame much quicker. And also, if you end up dying, which does happen quite a bit because you are a very soft target as well, then once you've respawned, you can get back in the fight and help your team out as quickly as you can as well. Like I say, this tank is a barrel of laughs. It's so much fun to play. The other thing that I didn't mention, actually, with this Toy Tanks mode, when I said about, you know, the present that's currently spawned at E5, and the opposition vehicles that die drop presents, and so do yours, which gives you either 4 snowballs or partial health refill, is that they have a boost mode. So if you press in the button that usually is your handbrake, you will be able to boost, as we've done there, which can be pretty handy for ramming other vehicles and giving you quite a bit of extra damage. But again, it depends on the tank that you use to be able to get that ramming damage. Obviously, if you put a crew in with the controlled impact, you're actually going to take less damage when you ram, which can be quite handy. But something like the Yellow Ryder isn't quite as good at ramming as, say, the standard toy tank or Ole Sparky, for example, because they're slightly heavier and they will do more damage when they ram. So you lose a lot less hit points while doing a lot more damage. But yeah, Yellow Ryder, hell of a lot of fun. Well worth a look if you're deciding which one you want to pick up. And yeah, it's a great fun tank. So I'm going to move on to the next one now while you can watch the rest of this battle.
Battlefield secure. Let phase 2 of testing commence.
So we're now on to Megablaster, which is the next tank that you can pick up for snowballs, and it will cost you 5,000 snowballs. So this one's a lot cheaper than the others. Well, there's 2 for 5,000, 2 for 10,000. This is one of the cheap ones at 5,000, and it's basically an atgm firing vehicle. So this tank does 550 damage with this rocket, or foam missile as it calls it. It's more like a firework than anything, because it sounds like it when it fires it and stuff like that. And it works just like the atgm mechanics, in that you do have to guide it to its target. It's not like the other tanks in the game where you just fire and you're firing around and it fires in a straight line. You generally have to guide this rocket to target, just like an atgm, and when it hits, it will do 550 damage. And it will basically pen everything. There is nothing that this tank won't pen, as it's got over 800 pen apparently, which means that all the toy tanks will get easily penned by this rocket. It does travel fairly quickly. This is a very good toy tank. You will quite easily do a lot of damage very, very quickly, because it reloads pretty quickly as well, which can be very, very handy for guiding these targets, these rockets to target, and doing a lot of damage very, very quickly, because you are doing it faster than the standard toy tanks. So the standard toy tanks are obviously firing for 100 odd damage, very, very fast, but in their 2 to 3 seconds, as we go for the present, by the way, there you go. Always pick it up if you see it, because you'll get an extra 20 snowballs. But yeah, you will destroy their HP very, very quickly. And if you catch people out, it's also good for that. This, like I said, this is a very, very good toy tank. But the Megablaster, it's as simple as that. It's basically an ATGM launcher with the foam missile, and you can have a lot of fun with this vehicle. And it's one of the cheaper options as well at 5,000 snowballs. So I'm going to go to the next one. I'll see you there.
Successful. Armour pierced. Ready to throw. Enemy armor is weak. Terrestrial armor penetrated. Retreat to the escape pod. Communicator rejuvenation protocol successful. Large caliber launchers decimated. Adversary neutralized. Enemy armor disintegrated. Agent to mothership. Immobilized unit available for testing. The enemy machine is resistant to our ammunition. We pierced their armor. Fellow Alliance member destroyed. Hostile agent eliminated. Let's assimilate the universe together.
So we're into the second to last of the new toy tanks, and this one is the Nurfstroyer. So this is the Tank Destroyer one. It's the Nurfstroyer. So basically, it is similar to the Megablaster in the fact that it's high damage at 600. It's got again good penetration at 245, meaning it will go through all of the toy tanks. It goes at 42 kilometers an hour, so in terms of its mobility, it's similar to all the other standard toy tanks, but it reloads slower than the Megablaster. But if you do not like the ATGM mechanics and you struggle to guide ATGMs to target or anything like that with that kind of mechanic, this Nurfstroyer might be the one that's for you. Because naturally, again, this one is 5,000 snowballs, the same as the Megablaster, but it works just like a normal gun. So again, if you struggle with ATGM mechanics, you don't like it, because there are people out there that don't like the mechanics and don't enjoy using them or struggle with them in general to guide the rockets to target, right? If you do struggle with that, this just acts like a standard tank, and you'll be able to still have a higher damage vehicle that does some significant damage. The one thing you don't want to do in the Nurfstroyer is get stuck into wolf packs too much, because as you can see, the reload is quite slow on it, meaning that if you end up against 2 or more targets, it's going to be curtains for you pretty quickly, as you're going to really struggle to keep the damage flowing, while something like a toy tank will fire a lot quicker, may do a lot more damage, but naturally, or not a lot less damage, sorry, but naturally they can avoid your shot if you miss, and then they will just keep firing rapid fire. So this is, again, I like the Nurfstroyer. It is a high damage tank, but it's not particularly one that I would pick myself, but it might be one for more people out there, because obviously everyone has different taste, everyone has what they find fun is different, right? And this one isn't really for me. I do find, like I said, I do find it quite fun, but at the same time, it's not really one that I particularly am going to take out more often than not over stuff like the Yellow Ryder or the Megablaster. But yeah, that's the Nurfstroyer. It's just as quick as the other toy tanks. It has this normal cannon that does 600 damage, reloads a little bit slower. Try not to get stuck into wolf packs, and you'll have a good amount of time with this Nurfstroyer. So, that's the Nurfstroyer. What I'm going to do is leave you with the rest of this replay, and I'll see you in the next one.
Retreat to the escape pod. Motor rejuvenated. We have lost artillery. We must remove the weakest elements before assimilation. Pierced. Ready to probe. Query. Is all enemy technology so primitive? Terrestrial vehicle eliminated. Penetration successful. One of our legion is destroyed. Adversary neutralized. Allied cargo and ship destroyed. Observation. Current ammunition is ineffective. Drill straight through. One small step for Stephen, one giant leap for the intergalactic empire.
So we're on to the last of the toy tanks, the last one of the new vehicles as well, and this is Ole Sparky. Now, Ole Sparky uses the mechanics that you have on the flamethrowers, so it's exactly the same as those. If you know how to use a flamethrower, you'll know how to use these. It shoots these sparkler rounds things. Shoots the sparklers at people, which then does tick damage, which can rack up damage very, very quickly, and it also acts like the enemy vehicle is on fire, meaning that they are slightly worse at everything in general. And again, this tank is a lot of fun. The Ole Sparky is quite a lot of fun, because you just run around going, yes, but oh, he got the parcel, he got the present. But you go, yeah, sparkles, let's go. You know, it's a fun tank. You don't have to worry about pen, naturally. all you've got to worry about with Ole Sparky is where the sparklers are going, because you've got to make sure that you're leading the target, as it's almost like a jet of sparklers, meaning that if you fire ahead of target and you keep your gun moving to the left, you'll see the jet sort of waning to the right as your tank is moving its turret left. So that's just, it's exactly the same as the flamethrower, and you'll have a lot of fun with this vehicle just melting things with the sparkler. It's actually quite surprising how fast the damage racks up with this vehicle, and you'll probably see that in this replay. But I had a lot of fun with the Ole Sparky. It is 10,000 snowballs, which is a lot of snowballs. Like I say, you're best to pick up one of the vehicles, have fun with it, and then you'll have it for all of the game modes, and then spend the rest of your snowballs on stuff that you can use in the game, like camos, like the commanders, all that good stuff. And the other thing is, obviously, make sure that you pick up both the ELC and the 283 before you spend any of your snowballs on the toy tanks, as obviously they're premium tanks, so it's nice to pick those up that you're going to be able to use all year round, as opposed to these vehicles that you clearly won't. You also do get a garage ornament for your customizable garage when you do unlock one of these, so there is that as well. But naturally, most people will probably do as I've just said, which is they'll find one that goes, yeah, that yellow Ryder looks sick, I'll pick that up, and then I can use that in the toy tank mode, which is great, by the way, for crew training. The crew training is fantastic in this vehicle, in this game, especially when you're using boosters. And they'll use it, run around like that, have a lunatic, have fun, get the crews trained up mad quick, and then they've got it for the other game modes as well, and then they'll just use the snowballs on stuff that's more helpful throughout the year, generally. Because we are getting a lot of snowballs. Naturally, you get 29,000 for the HTC op. There's also going to be more ops that they've said is along the way, that means you'll pick up even more snowballs. And, yeah, you'll have plenty to pick up everything as we go. So yeah, that's the Ole Sparky. It's also pretty good at ramming, as it is one of the heavy tanks as well. So you want to go around using the boost mode. Like I say, press your handbrake in to get the boost, and you'll do quite a bit of damage with ramming with Ole Sparky. Let's say, a lot of fun tank to play. If you like flamethrower mechanics, you'll like this vehicle. If you don't like the flamethrower mechanics, it's probably not the one for you, right? So yeah, that's it for me from this toy tank vehicle video thing. As always, thank you very much for watching. You're going to watch the rest of the replay for Ole Sparky here, and I'll see you all next time.
Allied cargo and ship destroyed. Fire is beautiful on your planet. Incandescence achieved. Communications restored. Oh, sometimes I see the stars burn like that. Allied lost. Extreme thermal radiation detected. Adversary neutralized. Enemy vehicle on fire. Abandoned ship. Signals being received. Oh no, Peter! Fellow Alliance member destroyed. Incandescence achieved. Allied cargo One ship destroyed. Oh, sometimes I see the stars burn like that. Earth, our final frontier. Communications restored. One of our legion is destroyed. The last time we visited you, you worshipped us as gods.
A great success.